Hello and welcome back to another Torah portion reading. This week we're going to cover Genesis 23, verse 1 through 25, verse 18. This Torah portion is called Chaye. Let me get that right. It's Chaye Sarah, which means the life of Sarah, or Sarah lived. And we'll begin. Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. So Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. I'm going to make a note right here that the reason she was in Kiriath Arba, which there's more of a story about it in the book of Enoch, but when Abraham took Isaac to sacrifice him, Sarah kind of freaked out and was looking for him all over to stop Abraham from killing her son. So she was out looking for them, is why she went to Kiriath Arba. But anyway, just a little side note. Verse 3. Then Abraham stood up from before his dead and spoke to the sons of Het, saying, I am a foreigner and a visitor among you. Give me property for a burial place among you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the sons of Het answered Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my lord. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of the burial places. None of us will withhold from you his burial place, that you may bury your dead. Then Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, the sons of Het, and he spoke with them, saying, If it is your wish that I bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and meet with Ephron, the son of Zohar, for me, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he has, which is at the end of his field. Let him give it to me at the full price, as property for a burial place among you. Now Ephron dwelt among the sons of Het, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the presence of the sons of Het, all who entered at the gate of his city, saying, No, my lord, hear me. I give you the field and the cave that is in it. I give it to you in the presence of the sons of my people. I give it to you. Bury your dead. Then Abraham bowed himself down before the people of the land, and he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, If you will give it, please hear me. I will give you money for the field. Take it from me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, My lord, listen to me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? So bury your dead. And Abraham listened to Ephron. And Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Het, 400 shekels of silver, currency of the merchants. So the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which is before Mamre, the field and the cave which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within all the surrounding boundaries, were deeded to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Het, before all who went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Het as property for a burial place. Chapter 24. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in age, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. So Abraham said to the oldest servant of his house, who ruled over all that he had, Please put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by Yahweh Elohai of heaven and Elohai of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, but you shall go to my country and to my family, and take a wife for my son Isaac. And the servant said to him, Perhaps the woman will not be willing to follow me to this land. Must I take your son back to the land from which you came? But Abraham said to him, Beware that you do not take my son back there. Yahovah Elohai of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my family, and who spoke to me and swore to me, saying, To your descendants I give this land. He will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. And if the woman is not willing to follow you, then you will be released from this oath. Only do not take my son back there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, for all his master's goods were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, to the city of Nahor. And he made his camels kneel down outside the city by a well of water at evening time, the time when women go out to draw water. Then he said, Yahovah Elohai of my master Abraham, please give me success this day, and show kindness to my master Abraham. Behold, here I stand by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming out to draw water. Now let it be that the young woman to whom I say, Please let down your pitcher that I may drink, and she says, Drink, and I will also give your camels a drink. Let her be the one you have appointed for your servant Isaac, and by this I will know that you have shown kindness to my master. And it happened, before he had finished speaking, that behold, Revkah, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with her pitcher on her shoulder. Now the young woman was very beautiful to behold, a virgin. No man had known her. And she went down to the well, filled her pitcher, and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, Please let me drink a little water from your pitcher. So she said, Drink, my lord. Then she quickly let her pitcher down to her hand and gave him a drink. And when she had finished giving him a drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels also, until they have finished drinking. Then she quickly emptied her pitcher into the trough, ran back to the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, remained silent, so as to know whether Yahovah had made his journey prosperous or not. So it was, when the camels had finished drinking, that the man took a golden nose ring, weighing 1/2 shekel, and 2 bracelets for her wrists, weighing 10 shekels of gold, and said, Whose daughter are you? Tell me, please, is there room in your father's house for us to lodge? So she said to him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, Milcah's son, whom she bore to Nahor. Moreover, she said to him, We have both straw and feed enough and room to lodge. Then the man bowed down his head and worshipped Yahovah. And he said, Blessed be Yahovah Elohai of my master Abraham, who has not forsaken his mercy and his truth toward my master. As for me, being on the way, Yahovah led me to the house of my master's brethren. So the young woman ran and told her mother's household these things. Now Revkah had a brother whose name was Lavan, and Lavan ran out to the man by the well. So it came to pass, when he saw the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's wrists, and when he heard the words of his sister Revkah, saying, Thus the man spoke to me, that he went to the man, and there he stood by the camels at the well, and he said, Come in, O blessed of Yahovah. Why do you stand outside? For I have prepared the house and a place for the camels. Then the man came to the house, And he unloaded the camels and provided straw and feed for the camels and water to wash his feet and the feet of the men who were with him. Food was set before him to eat, but he said, I will not eat until I have told about my errand. And he said, Speak on. So he said, I am Abraham's servant. Yahweh has blessed my master greatly, and he has become great, and he has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master when she was old, and to him he has given all that he has. Now my master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. But you shall go to my father's house and to my family, and take a wife for my son. And I said to my master, Perhaps the woman will not follow me. But he said to me, Yahweh, before whom I walk, will send his angel with you, and prosper your way, and you shall take a wife for my son from my family and from my father's house. You will be clear from this oath when you arrive among my family, for if they will not give her to you, then you will be released from my oath. And this day I came to the well and said, O Yahweh, Elohai of my master Abraham, if you will now prosper the way in which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin comes out to draw water, and I say to her, Please give me a little water from your pitcher to drink, and she says to me, Drink, and I will draw for your camels also. Let her be the woman whom Yahweh has appointed for my master's son. But before I had finished speaking, in my heart, there was Revkah coming out with a pitcher on her shoulder, and she went down to the well and drew water. And I said to her, Please let me drink. And she made haste and let her pitcher down from her shoulder and said, Drink, and I will give your camels a drink also. So I drank, and she gave the camels a drink also. Then I asked her and said, Whose daughter are you? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bore to him. So I put the nose ring on her nose and the bracelets on her wrists, and I bowed my head and worshipped Yahweh and blessed Yahweh Elohai of my master Abraham, who had led me in the way of truth to take the daughter of my master's brother for his son. Now, if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing comes from Yahweh. We cannot speak to you either bad or good. Here is Revkah before you. Take her and go, and let her be your master's son's wife, as Yahweh has spoken. And it came to pass, when Abraham's servant heard their words, that he worshipped Yahweh, bowing himself to the earth. Then the servant brought out jewelry of silver, jewelry of gold, and clothing, and gave them to Revkah. He also gave precious things to her brother and to her mother. And he and the men who were with him ate and drank and stayed all night. Then they arose in the morning and said, Send me away to my master. But her brother and her mother said, Let the young woman stay with us a few days, at least 10. After that she may go. And he said to them, Do not hinder me, since Yahweh has prospered my way. Send me away, so that I may go to my master. So they said, We will call the young woman and ask her personally. Then they called Revkah and said to her, Will you go with this man? And she said, I will go. So they sent away Revkah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Revkah and said to her, Our sister, may you become the mother of thousands of 10,000, and may your descendants possess or inherit the gates of those who hate them. Then Rivkah and her maids arose, and they rode on the camels and followed the man. So the servant took Rivkah and departed. Now Yitzhak came from the way of Beer Lahai Roi, for he dwelt in the Negev. And Yitzhak went out to meditate in the field in the evening, and he lifted his eyes and looked, and there the camels were coming. Then Rivkah lifted her eyes, and when she saw Yitzhak, she literally fell off her camel. For she had said to the servant, "Who is this man walking in the field to meet us?" The servant said, "It is my master." So she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Yitzhak all the things that he had done. When Yitzhak brought her into his mother, then Yitzhak brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and he took her Rivkah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Yitzhak was comforted after his mother's death. There's not many olive and taves in this Torah portion, but there's one there. The standalone olive and tav that I love. Chapter 25, and this is the end. Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bore him Zimram, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Yokshan begot Sheva and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Leumin. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Avida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac, but Abraham gave gifts to the sons of the concubines which Abraham had. And while he was still living, he sent them eastward, away from Isaac his son, to the country of the east. This is the sum of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and he was gathered to his people. And his sons, Yitzhak and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, the field which Abraham purchased from the sons of Het. There Abraham was buried, and Sarah is his wife. And it came to pass, after the death of Abraham, that Elohim blessed his son Yitzhak, and Yitzhak dwelt at Beer Lahai Roi. Now this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's maidservant, bore to Abraham. And these were the names of the son of Ishmael, by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebaioth, then Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadar, Tema, Yeturah, Naphish, and Kedema. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their towns and their settlements. 12 princes, according to their nations. These were the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years, and he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. They dwelt from Havilah as far as Shur, which is east of Egypt, as you go toward Assyria. He died in the presence of all his brethren. And that's the end of this Torah portion. Thank you for reading with us.